The following video will showcase the Gunlance from the flagship monster of Monster Hunter World. It will also showcase some higher level armor that isn't immediately available. However, this higher level armor is armor from the Master Rank version of monsters that you've already fought in Monster Hunter World. Therefore, I would not really consider it to be a big spoiler. I will also be showing a charm that is not available in Monster Hunter World. So there you go. In terms of monsters, I will stick with monsters that have been revealed through trailers in Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and if at all possible, I am even going to try to stick with monsters just for Monster Hunter World. So these are all the concerns that you might have about spoilers. These are the things that will be shown in this video. Let's begin. This is my Gunlance. There are many like it, but this one is mine. My Gunlance is my best friend. It is my life. I must master it as I must master life. Without me, my Gunlance is useless. Without my Gunlance, I am useless. I must fire my Gunlance true. I must shoot straighter than my enemy who is trying to kill me. I must shoot him before he shoots me. And I will. My Gunlance and I know that what counts in the hunt is not the shells we fire, the noise of our burst, nor the smoke we make. We know that it is the hits that count, and we will hit. My Gunlance is human, even as I, because it is my life. Thus I will learn it as a brother. I will learn its weaknesses, its strengths, its parts, its accessories, its sights, and its barrel. I will keep my Gunlance clean and ready, even as I am clean and ready. We will become part of each other. We will. Before the Iron Breakers, I swear this creed. My Gunlance and I are the defenders of the new world. We are the masters of our enemy. We are the saviors of my life. So be it, until the success of the Research Commission, and there is no threat, only balance. Shields up, Iron Breakers. Rurikhan here, coming at you with another video. Welcome back to Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my current Gunlance build. At this point in time, for my personal playstyle, this is the most optimized build I can possibly make. It is important, however, to mention that this build is not the best build that you can possibly make for a Gunlance because of the fact that I don't have as many decorations available to me as I like because of how the game changes the meta in terms of the decorations required. I'm basically kind of back to square one in terms of decos. I'm trying to get as many of the tier 4 decos as I possibly can, but luck hasn't really been on my side. Now, having said that, let's begin. In terms of Gunlance itself, we are using the Vorpal Ice Fort for most of my fights. I am, however, swapping Gunlances here and there, but this is definitely my staple Gunlance. And I understand that Ice is not going to be the best in terms of damage for every single fight, but I like the sharpness that this weapon brings with it. I like the damage that it does. I like the fact that it's normal 6. I just like this Gunlance all around, and I've been using it throughout a large chunk of the game, and most likely I will continue to use it because, in my opinion, it is a very good Gunlance. However, there's quite a number of normal 6 shelling Gunlances, and this build is going to work with pretty much all of them. As a matter of fact, it will even work with long shelling level 6 Gunlances if you are playing them with the wide shelling playstyle. Which, in case you guys are wondering why, I might do a separate video on that about long shelling Gunlances played as wide Gunlances. But anyway, let's get to it. The Gunlance is the Vorpal Ice Fort. Like I said, this is the Gunlance from Velkhana, and I'm going to be socking it with a Guardian/Attack Jewel 4. Now, this build is the more offensive version. You might swap some attack jewels in here for vitality decos if you are having problems surviving. That is going to be your choice. In terms of armor, we're going to start things off with the Zora Headgear Alpha Plus, and we're going to socket it with 2 jumping jewels. Now, the reason we're using Zora Magdaros is because if you are a Gunlance main and you want to use shelling with your Gunlance, you're going to have to use 3 pieces of Zora Magdaros gear because that is going to increase your artillery to level 5, which is going to be the beefiest damage you'll be able to do with your shells, as well as you're going to have a really beefy cooldown reduction on your Wyvern's Fire, so you definitely want to get that, at least in my opinion. If you want to run level 3 artillery, you do you, but naturally level 5 artillery is going to be much better. Now, the parts that I picked for Zora Magdaros, I picked Alpha. You guys will be like, why not Beta so that you get more slots? Because these Alpha pieces are going to bring you all the artillery that you need. So this headpiece, for instance, is going to bring Flinch Free, which is also useful if you are playing in multiplayer, as well as 2 artillery. The next piece is the Zora Hide Alpha Plus. We're going to socket it with a Tenderizer Jewel and an Attack Jewel. And this particular piece is going to bring level 2 Tremor Resistance, which is not really mandatory for the build, but it is decent, as well as another 2 artillery. We're going to be filling up our artillery just with Zora pieces. You're not even going to need artillery decorations. So if you don't have them, don't worry about it. Next up, we got the Uragan Vambraces Beta. Now, the reason I went and I picked up this piece of gear is because I looked through all of the gear that I had available to me at the time, and I was looking at set bonuses. I was looking for a secondary set bonus for my Gunlance, and I was thinking, you know what, guard up could actually be useful, and on top of it, these 2 Uragan pieces that I picked actually come with a lot of guard. So you're going to have a lot of guard built in, which allows you to really be in the monster's face and really be offensive at all time. And with that, we put in another Guardian Attack Jewel. I'll talk about the Guardian skill when we get into the final version of the build. You also get 1 point of Iron Skin, but that's not a really big deal. Next up, we have the Zora Spine Alpha Plus, which is going to bring you your final artillery bit, as well as another tremor resistance piece. So you're not really going to have a lot of problem with tremors if you are rocking this build. We're going to socket that with a Tenderizer Jewel and naturally a Magazine Jewel. I'm sorry, those of you that don't have Magazine Jewels, you might have to sacrifice your Uragan set bonus, and you're going to have to go get the Dorogama legs instead, okay? Anyway, continuing onwards, we then have Uragan Greaves Beta, which are going to be bringing you 2 more guard, and we're going to socket it with an Expert Jewel +4. Like I said, this is an extremely offensive build. You should remove some of these offensive options if you are struggling with some of the monsters. Some of those options could be, for instance, exchanging the attack decos for vitality decos, which is actually what I've been running most of the time. But as I was optimizing the build, this is what I chose to present to you guys. Next up, also with an attack jewel in there. And then finally, we wrap everything nicely with a razor sharp charm. Now, this is a new charm that was not available in Monster Hunter World, and as you can imagine, it does exactly what you're thinking. This charm is going to provide you with the Xeno'jiiva set bonus. Now, in case you guys don't have this charm, in case you're wondering, how do I get this charm? When you start playing Iceborne, you're going to get a quest from your the Palico that manages your room in Selyana. Once you get that quest, you just start completing those quests. It's kind of like a quest chain. Eventually, you're going to get one which is to capture a Tigrex. After you capture that Tigrex, he's going to send you off to go capture another monster. After you capture that second monster, he is going to give you the razor sharp charm, in case you guys are wondering how to get that. In terms of mantles, most of the time I rock the Vitality Mantle and Temporal Mantle. In the current game, the monsters don't really one-shot Vitality Mantle away, so it actually lasts a decent amount. So I use that, but naturally, if you're facing something that has a lot of lightning damage, I would advise you to take the Thunderproof Mantle. If you're facing something that's got a lot of water damage, take the Waterproof Mantle. Ice damage, Iceproof Mantle, and the Temporal Mantle to complement it. So basically, just take whatever mantle you need to that offsets the big damage that is going to be coming your way, or if you want to take a generalistic mantle, go for Vitality. So if we then take a look at the final version of the build, you're going to be seeing Artillery level 5, Attack Boost level 4, which might be the graded all the way down to 2 if you are taking a more survivable approach with it. Like I said, you shouldn't go balls deep offense if you are struggling. You're also going to have Guard level 4. If you want to, you can also increase that to level 5. I don't really see the need to. I could settle for 3 even, but the 2 pieces of Uragan that I got already put it at 4, so I'm whatever. Level 3 Tremor Resistance, which is just an added bonus. This is a very defensive build, even with all of these offensive stats, right? We also have 2 Critical Eye, which comes from that Expert Jewel that I have, because I'm still trying to crit here and there. Even though, again, you don't really need to. We got 2 Weakness Exploit in there. I know that you guys are like, why don't you get 3? Go ahead, change things around and get 3 Weakness Exploit if you want to. I prefer having things this way for now. Evade Extender level 2. Offensive Guard level 2. Now, this skill might confuse you guys because you might have not heard about this skill before. What this does is it buffs your attack power by a percentage if you manage to do what is called like a critical block. Now, critical blocking is kind of like parrying. So basically, if you block at the last second before the attack lands, it is going to proc. And once that procs, with my current level of it, you're going to get plus 10% attack. If you happen to be able to get this up to level 3, it's going to be 15%. It's going to be real good. You also have Iron Skin, level 1. Not really a big deal. Capacity boost, level 1. You obviously need that. Flinch free, level 1. Pretty good for multiplayer. Razor Sharp Spare Shot from the Amulet. Also pretty damn good. Recovery speed level 2. This is actually coming from the Vitality Mantle, which is why it's got the different symbols on it. That thing is only going to be available when you put the Temporal Mantle on. I still haven't figured out exactly what I want to put in there, so I just put those two for now. And finally, you also have the following set bonuses. Zora Magdaros Essence, which gives you Artillery Secret, and Uragan Ambition, which gives you Guard Up. Now, in case you guys are wondering, Rurikhan, I don't know how to unlock the Zora Magdaros armor. This comes after you defeat the final boss. So before you defeat the final boss, you effectively cannot craft the new version of Zora Magdaros' armor. After you defeat the final boss, an event is going to happen. You're going to see exactly what you need to do to get the Zora Magdaros essence. Basically, if you still don't know, you need to gather materials in the thing that happens after the sequence of the final boss. I'm trying to stay as spoiler-free as possible with this video. It is my first build. I'm currently also working on a Charge Blade build because you guys have voted on the poll that I made on the community tab. I gave you 4 weapons to choose from, and most of you chose the Charge Blade. So the Charge Blade is going to be the next weapon that I'm going to be focusing on. However, I should inform you guys that it's going to take me a lot of time to get properly optimized builds because the end game of Iceborne is significantly more complex than the end game of Monster Hunter World. Whereas in Monster Hunter World, you finish the final boss, you start getting tempered investigations, and then you just basically start upgrading to the point where you just instantly start augmenting your weapons. I can tell you right now, I'm still not able to do the health regen augment on any of my weapons, despite the fact that I have been in endgame for, I don't know, at this point like 15 hours or something like that. I still can't augment any of my weapons with health regen. So the end game is significantly more complex. I'm still learning it. I'm still going over all that stuff, and I will be trying to bring guides to you as it is available, but naturally, most of the content that is still ahead of us is going to be the live streams while I continue to grind. Thank you all very much for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, if it helped you out, hit it up with a like because it helps me out more than you can possibly imagine. If you have been following in the live streams, I hope you've been enjoying them, and hopefully I haven't really spoiled anything for anyone. I've been as spoiler-free as possible in this channel, and I intend to continue to do that. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Stay strong, and may your shields never break.